Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 5. Now I am so stoked for all four of these figures, and as you can see they come in that retro style blister card packaging. Turning all four boxes around, we can see a really nice cross-sell of all the other figures included from this lineup, as well as some really cool artwork at the top. Now I really do love the artwork that we get included on these. Mattel really went all out in hiring the right people. I absolutely love this image of Fisto fighting Jitsu, and man, I cannot wait for Jitsu. That's one figure that I'm super stoked for. We also get some really cool artwork for the Lords of Power Merman, which looks great. He seems to be fighting Tila here. And I also love just that background with the planets in the background. Looks really cool. Then you got this really awesome like sea monster coming out. I just think that's so rad. The one that stood out to me was Evil-Lyn's. I love her artwork. It almost seems like a more bluer version of the Lords of Power Merman, so I don't know if that's a variant or just the way their colors look. But I also love that we get the mini comics Trapjaw on the back of that, which was the fan winner. So we'll be getting that figure soon. That's really cool. And I love that Stinkor, man. I cannot wait to get Stinkor in this line. And then, of course, we get my all-time favorite character. We have Faker here. I love the image in the background. I'm not sure if that's Prince Adam or what that is, or maybe another Faker, I don't know. But he seems to be leaping on Manny Faces and Ram-Man here, so that's such great artwork. So I'm so stoked about all of these. So let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. All right, guys, now let's check out this newest wave of Origins figures. Now, I don't think I've reviewed any of these on my channel yet, but this is a really cool wave to me, so I had to review all of them, especially for my boy over here, Faker. That's my dude. So let's just check all these things out, man. So first off, we're gonna start off with the Lords of Power Merman. I am so excited that I have this figure now. This is the second time we're seeing this figure, the third time we're seeing a Merman. We did get the Lords of Power set from a PowerCon exclusive box set. Obviously, with this one, there's going to be less paint, so that is going to be the difference. This is a retail version of that figure. That one had more paint apps on the chest, like tampering on his trunks and things like that, and I believe it had a very subtle wash. I can't remember. I don't have that set, so I don't really know. But I'm still really excited that they gave us a retail version, because I really love this look for Merman. Has that Lords of Power style look to it, or for those who are like a 2000X fans, it has a 2000X vibe to it, so that's really cool too. So I just love the way that looks. The armor is fantastic. It looks really good. Always prefer this head sculpt versus the vintage toy head sculpt. I just think it looks so good. The belt with the tassels hanging down. I love the feet, the very specific feet for this Lords of Power version. I think it looked really good. I love this, man. It has the connections like a vintage figure would, so I think that's super cool. For him, we of course get his corn on the cob sword right here, and yes, it's corn on the cob. I don't care what anybody says, it's corn on the cob. But you have his sword that he holds into his hand very well, so I love that, man. Gotta have that sword with this figure. I wish he had came with a trident for some reason. I don't know, that's just me. Like, you know, since again we got the sword already with a couple other Merman figures, I kind of wish we got the trident again, but that's just me. Now I'm going to bring in the other Origins Merman here, since I already have that one, and we can kind of compare here, and you can see the difference. You know, the head sculpts are obviously the big things here. This just reused, or was this a shared use with a Stinkor head, and I cannot wait for Stinkor, man. I'm so excited for that. But you can see the big difference in the armor as well. The armor is completely different. The yellows are completely different colors. Everything from the feet, the hands, you know, just about everything, with the exception of like the buck itself. with all the parts and everything is just pretty much brand new. The swords are exactly the same, just slightly different yellows, but still very cool. I am super excited to have both of these. I think they both turn out great. But man, this Lords of Power Merman just looks so cool to me. So now let's take a look at Evil-Lyn here. Now I'm really excited about this one because I've always been a big fan of this particular colorway. Now I did skip on the yellow version of Evil-Lyn. I kind of regret that, so I might have to go back and pick that one up so I can compare that one. But I really do prefer this version, this look for her, with the pale skin like this, and then the multiple tones of purple, which I think just looks really cool. And then the package itself had that more 2002 MYP Masters of the Universe logo. So I'm assuming this is just more color deco to match that series, which I think is cool. So I love that. I kind of hope we see more of that kind of stuff in the Origins line. I think that would be really cool. And I'm going to throw this out there. I would totally love to see New Adventures He-Man stuff in the Origins line. That's just me. I'm all about it, dude. I think that'd be really cool. But still, anyways, the colors look great. You got that dark purple, you got that pale purple, then you got that really rich purple for like the armbands and the bracers and things like that, looking really nice. The head sculpt, I think, looks fantastic. The makeup, the lips, all that stuff looks really good. The little skull and the tiara on the top of her crown right there looks really nice. And you got some black boots. So I think this looks really cool, dude. I will say, though, I'm not a fan of those knees. I think that's a pretty common complaint with the female figures. I just do not like the way that looks. So yeah, it is what it is. And they function okay. You know what I mean? They work and bend anything you need. But when you just have her standing there, it looks really weird. So I don't know. I guess it is what it is. It's something we're gonna have to deal with. And mine has a little bit of paint missing in certain little areas right there. So not a big deal though. She still looks really cool. Her single weapon is going to be her wand right here, her staff wand, which I think is really cool. It's just done in a simple purple. I was hoping we get like a translucent orb on the top right there. I think that would have been awesome. But it still looks really good. I do like it. It feels a little bulky for me. I don't know. What do you guys think? For those who have this figure, does that wand feel a little bulky to you, or is it perfect? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm completely full of it. So still, I am so stoked to have this Evil-Lyn. Again, I prefer this version over the yellow skin version. That's just me. But still, I think she looks really killer, man. So I think she's a really cool figure. Next up, we're going to check out my boy Fisto here, aka Battle Fist. I know a lot of people hate that name, but Fisto just looks so cool, dude. I know this is one a lot of us have been waiting for. I know Jitsu is not far away, so we'll be getting him soon too. But I love this figure. The head sculpt looks really good. The mustache and the beard and the hair just looks so good. A very iconic look for the character. And I don't know if it's just me, but my eyes seem to be looking off to the side a little bit. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Or that's just a paint error, I don't know. But it doesn't look terrible. It really doesn't bother me at all. But the armor looks really good, man. This is just an overlay that you can unclip. It seems to be somewhat of a softer plastic, but you can't take that off. But the paint of the silver is very nice and vibrant, very shiny, metallic. I think it's really cool. Same thing with the bracers. And of course, his big, awesome fist. I think that looks so good, dude. Again, the silver on this just looks very well done. I am super happy with this. And they got those really deep purples. I mean, I love the way this figure turned out, man. I'm super happy that I got him in the collection. And the armor, this is one thing I like, is that the armor bulks him up properly, where unlike the battle armor He-Man and Skeletor figures, that I did not like those. They just look too thin for being, battle armor. I'm not sure why they didn't just go with an overlay like this. I think that would have been a lot better. They did it for the Masters of the WWE Universe. Not sure why they didn't do it with those, because this looks really good to me. So I love the way this turned out. He is, of course, comes with his signature sword right here. We could hold in his hand like that, and this thing is awesome. It feels really big, so I don't know if it's too big for somebody, but I like it. And in the 2000X series, he does have that even bigger sword, so I think this looks really cool. Just done in that simple purple, that same Triclops sword that we've seen with Triclops. So I love it, man. I think this looks so good. I am just super happy with this. I mean, again, this is a fan favorite character, one that a lot of people wanted in pretty much like every line. I know a lot of people were waiting for him in Origins, and I think he's finally here, and I just think he looks so cool, man. Such a great piece. And last but not least, we have my favorite Masters of the Universe character, Faker. I am so happy to finally have Faker in the Origins line. I don't know what it is about this guy. This character just screams to me, man. I love it. The colors, especially that light blue pale skin, you know, the purple, the blacks, the orange armor is ridiculous, and that bright red hair. It looks crazy to me. It's so good. Now, it does have the more vintage style head, which I prefer, honestly. But honestly, I do hope down the line, and this is weird because, like, a lot of us were so against the new head for the Origins He-Man, but now that they gave it to us, I want another Faker with that head. So is that weird? It's a weird complaint, but I want both. You know, just give me both, Mattel. I'll gladly buy another version. And since I do actually army build Fakers, I plan on having like 20 of these. So I already have a few coming in the mail too. So this is just the first of many. So I'm just really excited about this. The armor looks great, dude. The paint of the bracers looks really nice. The purple is a very deep, vibrant purple. I just love the way that looks. So, of course, his weapon is going to be his orange power sword, very signature weapon. It is a full sword, not the half sword like we've seen with some of the previous figures, and it holds in that hand very, very well. And then you got a more open palm hand on this side. And I notice my Faker's fingers just a little crooked, so I'm gonna have to warm those up a bit and hopefully straighten those out. It's not terrible. I could totally fix it. So that looks really cool. So let me get that right there. Very nice. Excuse me. So what I want to do here is bring in the vintage Faker, and we can see that if it's just one of many vintage Fakers that I have, I think like 10 of these. I do want to get a lot more eventually, but it's pretty cool seeing these side by side. Again, I love how they actually painted the bracers now on the more modern versions. Of course, modern paint. This particular version of Faker has seen better days. But again, I have a bunch of these Fakers, the vintage ones, so this is just one of many. So this is really cool, man, seeing the old school and the new school. So just seeing those side by side feels like something very, very special. So I love that. What's also cool, I have the other Faker right here, which is the real Faker, which is the real Faker, who knows? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Who knows? But, man, I love both of these lines. I think they're so cool. I think it's cool that we even got this Faker, but still this one right here, man. Oh my God, it's turned out so good. I cannot even begin to explain how happy I am with this. So I went ahead and took off the armor here because I wanted to show off that really awesome tambo of his like computer system right there on his chest. I love the way that turned out, man. It looks so good. This time it is actually printed on there or painted on there, tampoed on there, whatever you want to call it. And it looks nice. Whereas the vintage figures, there's another vintage figure that I have. It had just a sticker on there. This one is actually printed on, so that looks really cool too. This is a repro sticker, it's not a vintage sticker. So usually for a lot of these, I think I only have one vintage sticker in all my Fakers, but most of them just tend to be repros. So this, again, just looks really cool. I prefer the painted. Man, the stickers are so impossible to take care of on the vintage toys, so I think it's just really cool. But what I also wanted to check out, and this is something that I've talked about in some of the Facebook forums and things like that, I hope we get a Faker with the more pink armor, the magenta armor. So I actually do have some custom magenta armor that I've picked up for one of my vintage Fakers. So I wanted to see how it looks on here, because I do hope, and again, I've said this before, I gladly army build Fakers. So if we can get different versions of him, I'm all about that. Again, one with a more modern He-Man Origins head. In this armor, I sadly missed out on that, what do you call it? The PowerCon exclusive Faker. The Leo Toys Faker. Man, I wanted that thing so bad. And I couldn't get it, so I don't know if you guys got it, but man, that one actually hurt my feelings quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. So we can get that on like so, like that, and I think that looks pretty cool. I think actually, oh my God, I actually really like that a lot. So I think that turned out great. It did come with a vintage style power sword in that same color that he holds on there very well, so I think that looks super cool. Yeah, man, that looks really good, so I would totally buy that. Or I was kind of thinking maybe if you don't want to use that and you want to use more modern sword, maybe you can give him the Prince Adam sword, so you can have that more modern origin style sword like that. So yeah, man, I think that looks really cool actually. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you guys buy the pink armor or magenta armor Faker? I totally would. I'd buy 10 of those, you know what I mean? Again, I love it. Faker is just so good, man. I'm really happy with this entire wave. So there it is, guys, my review of Wave 5 of the Masters of the Universe Origins. Now, all 4 of these figures turned out great in my opinion. The Evil-Lyn looks really cool. That's just a favorite colorway of mine. I love those colors on her, but I think the knees for me are just going to be a bit weird. I know it's a pretty common complaint with the female figures from this line, but I still like her, and again, I just love those colors. The Lords of Power Merman, oh my god, I love that thing, dude. And I love the fact that we're actually getting retail versions of what we thought was going to be just an exclusive. Of course, the paint isn't as great as an exclusive, but he still looks awesome. I'm so glad that I got it. But man, that Fisto, oh, that is a fan favorite. I think he rocks. The silver came out great. I love his giant purple sword. All the paint-ups look gorgeous, and that is one character that I'm happy to have in this line. But I think Faker is going to be my all-time favorite. Of course, he's my favorite Motu character. And man, I will take any and all Faker figures they want to give me. He is just a beautiful piece. I've always loved his colors. The articulation works very well on all these. The paint apps are really nice and clean for the most part on all of them. I just love these toys. I love this line. I cannot wait to get more. And every last one of them is a definite must get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.